There are many practices in this world that people set out to achieve mastery in. Mastery of an instrument, martial art, or perhaps business. But one of the least heard of yet most rewarding is self-mastery. Self-mastery means having supreme control over your thoughts, feelings, and actions. It is undoubtedly a lifelong practice that takes much time and continuous effort, but will inevitably grant you a life of ease, simplicity, and control. I'd like to elaborate on this by telling you the story of the two masters. Two masters, who lived in very different parts of town, shared a similar evening one night. They both left their apartment around 7 to meet a date they had arranged to meet previously with quite some enthusiasm. They successfully met their dates around an hour later, both young attractive girls with charm and class. The first master's date was disappointing to say the least. Him and his date had very little chemistry and ran out of things to talk about at an impressive rate. The two had virtually nothing in common, and his date seemed surprisingly cold compared to when they first met. They shared drinks by the river for 1 hour and parted ways, with no hint of a second date. The second master took his date to a nearby rooftop bar, where they shared a wonderful evening overlooking the city. They enjoyed fun conversation and plenty of common ground. The girl proved to be quite a match, and uniquely beautiful too. After drinks, they walked back to her plush and expensive apartment, boasting a wonderful view of the city. They had passionate sex all night and shared intimate stories over pillow talk, caressing each other till they fell asleep in each other's arms. By 10 AM the next day, which of the two masters do you think felt happier and more content? The answer is neither. They both were equally as happy and at ease in the morning. This might sound strange to some, but mastery means being rooted in the present, no longer dependent on external achievements to find true peace and contentment. And before any of you say that sounds silly or unrealistic, the story of the two masters is actually based on 2 separate dates I myself experienced. Though I'm very reluctant to brand myself a master, as I still have much practicing to do, the story remains the same. By the next morning on both occasions, I was once again rooted in the present, and no longer thinking about the events that occurred during the previous night to find happiness. When you find true stillness and contentment within, you will still enjoy the pleasures and adventures of life, but once they are over, you're back to your natural state of bliss and presence, detached from your achievements or downfalls. To conquer yourself, you must conquer your perceptions and judgments. Perceptions are everything. Practice observing things without judgment, allowing their natural essence to shine through without coercion, remaining mindful and in control. If you find yourself indulging in toxic judgments that lower your mood, take a moment and simply say, "It is what it is." Choose perceptions based on a higher truth that empower you and others, not based on what society or somebody of a negative nature might say. Eventually, your negative perceptions will start to fade away, being replaced by healthy, positive ones, allowing you to be so much more at ease in life. Peace and ease are our natural state. Life is meant to be fun and easy. Of course, in the current world we live in today, this is incredibly challenging to achieve. But once we start letting go of our negative and fearful beliefs, replacing them with empowering and truthful ideals, things will start to change for us very quickly. Societal beliefs have an enormous impact on us as individuals, including our genetics, but sadly many of them are outdated and disempowering. For so long I've heard people say life is a struggle and money is the root of all evil, but these are ultimately nothing more than outdated paradigms based on false information gathered a long time ago. And because so many of us still believe them, that is often the case for us. Our perceptions and beliefs are very real and powerful. They contain unique vibrations and frequencies that affect our biology, genetics, and surroundings. If every time someone said life is hard, they said life is a joyous and grand adventure, that is the life that most of us would be experiencing today. You can take back your power by no longer buying into lies that aren't serving you, questioning everything and actively choosing your own fate. Underneath everything, our natural state is heaven, and we are powerful creators with the ability to change the world. Practice mindfulness and meditation to master your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. You will master your life in ways you never thought possible. Of course, material success has its place in this world. There is nothing wrong with desiring money, success, and possessions. It is not greedy or indulgent, but essential for a full life. But if you can enjoy these things in a state of detachment, not dependent on them for inner peace, you will enjoy both spiritual and material success, which is a very rare combination. Try this experiment. Spend 1 hour every day sitting in a comfortable position in total silence. No phone, internet, or any other stimulation. Root yourself in the present and enjoy beautiful simplicity. Meditate. The present moment holds all the glory you need. Over time, you'll see that true happiness and enlightenment has been under your nose the entire time. It is a discipline that takes much practice, but over time you will start to obtain self-mastery for yourself.
It is something I like to share some ideas and thoughts with you. I'm not asking that you believe anything that I say. I'm not asking that you agree with me. I'm merely asking that you stand on and in the conversation that we'll share with you this evening. And if there's something that I say that can fit and work for you, I say use it. If not, discard it and let it be. Is that all right? Yeah. Say, that's fair enough. Very good. All right. One of the things I have realized, and many of us have, that if you want something out of life, if you want to change yourself, if you want to acquire something, if there's some goal that you want to reach, that is really not easy as some people will make us feel. That living your dream, changing your behaviors, overcoming negative habits, it's challenging. It's hard. That living alone is just very difficult. And once we begin to come to grips with the fact that living is difficult, life is very challenging. I heard a song once by a guy named Dimples called, "If It Ain't One Thing, It's Another." I say to you, if it ain't one thing, it's 12 others. Always something. You will never ever have a problem-free moment in life. Somebody said, and I like this, that you either in a problem or just left one or headed toward one. Anybody found that to be so? Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. I mean, there's always something. So how do we begin to nurture that hunger? What are the characteristics or the qualities of people that are hungry? What will it take for me to get some of the things that I want? And being hungry for those things, number one, you've got to work on yourself. It's very important that you engage in an ongoing process to develop you. Spend more time on yourself than what you've been spending. It's very important. You owe that to yourself. I was reading a book by Og Mandino called The University of Success. Read one line, gave me a chill. I didn't have to read anything else in the book. He said, many of us never realize our greatness because we become sidetracked by secondary activity. We spread ourselves too thin, don't know how to say no. And we find ourselves doing all kinds of things and never ever have time to do those things that we need to do to work on ourselves. And then there goes a second, there goes another second, there goes another second, and we can't stop and hold time. And before you know it, you wake up one day and you're behind on your dreams and your bills. So decide that you're going to take some time to work on you, that you deserve that from yourself, that your life deserves some prime time because you are creating your own production. As Michael Todd would say, you are the star of your show. You are the director. You're writing the script. And you will determine whether your life is a smash office hit or flop. You determine that. Working on yourself. I hung the phone up. I said, now he must be thinking I'm crazy. I called my mom and my girlfriend Cassandra. I said, y'all come out on the front porch and turn up the radio. I'm about to come on the air. I waited about 15 minutes. I called him back. I said, Mr. Klein, I can't find nobody. He said, well, why don't you go in there and work the controls until they get there? And don't say nothing here. I said, yes, sir. I couldn't wait to sit down at that turntable, Mustafa. I said, look out, this is me, LB, Triple P, Les Brown, your platter playing Papa. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single and love to mingle, certified, bona fide, indubitably qualified to bring you satisfaction and a whole lot of action. Look out, baby, I'm your love man. I was hungry. Shake somebody's hand on your right and left and say, you've got to be hungry. Boy, y'all something else. You hear me? You want to be persistent about what it is that you want to achieve. Alexander Graham Bell said, what this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists, and it becomes available only when a man or a woman is in that state of mind in which he or she knows exactly what he or she wants and is fully determined not to quit until they find it. When our children are learning how to walk, how many times will your baby attempt to walk and fall and you just say, just sit down, don't try anymore, you've fallen 20 times. Just sit down somewhere, busting your lip and everything, getting in folks' way. When will a baby walk? It will walk when it walks. That's when it will walk. Les, when will you be known nationally as the motivator? I will be known when I'm known. That's when I'll be known. Don't get caught up in, well, I've tried it 4 or 5 times and things didn't work out. If there's something that you want and you're hungry for it, you've got to do whatever is necessary until. And when you give the best you can and that's not enough, you must do what is required. And don't give up on yourself. Don't throw the towel in so quickly. Many people give up on the 1-yard line, where if they have the determination just to keep on knocking. It's a funny thing about life. If you're home one day and someone is knocking on the door and you say, I don't want to be bothered today, and if that person just keep on knocking, say, can you believe that fool's still knocking? Pretty soon you say, what is it? What do you want? And that's how you've got to be about your dream. Some people, well, I guess ain't nobody home. I knocked on the door, but nobody came. I heard the television on and people were moving around, but I guess opportunity probably went out the back door. Oh, no. See, life is not just that simple. It's not that cut and dry. And that's why most people never realize their personal greatness, because they're casual about life. And when you're casual about life, you will end up a casualty. Life is serious business. So I encourage you to be persistent, to not decide that, well, I've done the best I can. I guess I just can't have it. Don't make that decision. Many of us make premature decisions about ourselves. Calvin Coolidge said something, a man who was a president that was not known for his eloquence or making any historical decisions, but something he wrote about persistence. And he says, press on. Nothing can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. The world is full of unsuccessful people with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education alone will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent.